Welcome back, everyone. Ronan here. And since XCOM 2 will be out, I believe tomorrow, I probably won't be coming back to this game for a little while. I don't know how long. Um, well, just in case, I wanted to release a guide on classes and potential builds and what my thoughts were on the builds. So I'm going to do it all as a one video, then I'll split it per class and put it into a playlist. So here goes. View Soldier, there's 8 classes we're going to cover. So we're going to start with Medic. Snipers. All right, snipers. Now, I'm not going to use Gorgax for an example, because I kind of regret what I did with him. Even though he's my field commander, I made one big mistake with his skills, and I can't undo it. Snipers. Go to abilities. All right. The nice thing now is that you get squad sight right away. This doesn't make your snipers useless for a level or two. This makes them usable right away. Really nice touch. Um, Snipers, I only use one now. I used to use two in my groups when there's only 4 classes. It was really good and almost overpowered. But with one now, it actually does a pretty good job. You have other classes that can carry the weight that the old sniper, that the old method of having 2 snipers would work. Two would still be good though. You still take a lot of good shots. You actually have classes now that do more damage than a sniper. So here, I used to get low profile, but as I play more now, I can actually leave my sniper in the open and not get hit. So you don't need extra defense if they're not getting hit in being in the open. So because unless you have a floater that jumps up and goes right to you, or you miss a seeker, you forgot you lost your count, and you don't know where the seekers are, and it goes for your sniper. But even if you're behind cover, it doesn't matter. The seeker's just gonna strangle you. So on him, I got Deadeye, which anytime I'm shooting at flying enemies, it's extra aim, which is nice. 15 is pretty good. It almost counteracts the fact that they're flying. Now, Lone Wolf. I didn't think it would be a good one to get, but more and more now, my snipers are by themselves. I would recommend this because the extra crit chance. That 10 aim and crit chance is pretty big because that's on everybody, not just flying units. But I actually would get Lone Wolf because snipers are generally by themselves. Disabling shot is a must. You have to get disabling shots, and that's basically because of mechtoids, sectopods, heavy floaters. If you can't deal with them that turn, you want to have disabling shot. It gives you another turn, to do more damage. If you're talking about a sectopod, you can disable it. It won't do anything that turn. It'll basically reload. That gives you 2 turns of being able to just beat down on it. And considering how much health they have, this does not work on ethereals. Any large units, large mechanical units, it probably doesn't work on a crystallid either. They don't have a weapon or berserkers. But if you have like a Muton Elite, heavy floater, those guys that can cause a lot of damage and you can't kill in one turn, especially if there's multiple of them, segregate one, break his weapon, next turn, there's not really much you can do. Problem with Muton Elites is that if you use this, they will just basically throw a grenade at you if you're within range. So be careful. Sectoid commanders, they'll just use psionic abilities on you, and same with sectoids. So those, not a big deal to use against. The large mechs, definitely use that on them. You almost need to have this. Cyber discs, those discs, use this. Buys you an extra turn. Very handy. Even if you have 2 snipers in your group, I would get 2 of them because that's 2 turns now that you can ignore a target. Precision shot basically increases chance to crit. Sure, if you're playing with a marksman rifle where you move up and shoot, maybe, but my snipers don't move up and shoot, so I don't get that. Even with snapshot, my snipers don't move and shoot really. I put them in one good spot with line of sight somewhere, and they stay there. So this is why this is even more handy now. Damn good ground. If you're playing a sniper, this is a really good one to get for that extra aim and defense. Now defense is not a big deal unless you're playing in an urban map where you're going to be close to your group for some of them, and you generally go on a rooftop and there's that lip. This would be good with this, but it's very rare that I'll be close to the group and close to being fired at. Now I generally sit back somewhere, a few tiles higher if I can, the highest ground on the map that I can pick, and I stay there. Mainly the 10 aim is what's good here. I would also consider using Ranger for the extra 1 damage. And then your pistol would be able to be used if you run out of ammo. This would be pretty handy. Your pistol won't get the squad sight bonus because you won't have that unlimited range. But that extra 1 damage is actually handy because I find that my snipers are kind of trailing in the damage because their weapons research takes a bit longer. An extra tier, basically, an extra research you have to do. And then because it's like 20 days later, then you still have to build the weapon. You're looking at like 2 months before you get your weapon instead of the same time of the rest of your group. So I would consider maybe getting Ranger to keep your weapons effective for a while longer. Sharpshooter, plus 10 critical chance in all situations. Pretty nice. And then plus 10 aim if you're shooting at enemies in full cover. Now it's pretty rare I'm going to shoot at enemies in full cover. I'll either use an engineer to break that cover or a rocketeer and generally aim at other enemies before I kill those enemies, especially those that are always in the open. So that's why I think one of these two would maybe be better. Executioner, nice if you're taking shots at people that are half health. It goes well with one of the skills later on. Here I have vital point targeting, 2 extra damage on your primary gun. You almost need that to keep your weapon relevant. Again, I'm not sure if I would get platform stability. In the long run, if you look at it, I mean, he's a lieutenant, or he's a colonel. He's the highest level right now. He's got 97% chance to hit. Most enemies don't really have damage reduction unless they're in cover. Unless, like, you're talking about the Muton Elite, Crystalids, Berserkers, Sectopods. Sure, those have damage reduction. And the way you play your sniper, you always get that because you're not moving. So it could be handy. I could consider getting this. But I think the extra damage is nicer for most situations, especially since you add a scope. Once you add the scope, then your chance to hit is even higher and crit. So it'd be a bit of a toss up here, depending on how you play your sniper. But I think the extra damage is nicer, especially if you factor in the zone later on. Tactical defense, like I said, I don't get shot, so I don't get this one. I can see the appeal. You used to have on a sniper a pistol build, so this would be all change. Instead of snapshot, you go for pistol build and do more damage with your pistols. It could work, but now I only use one sniper, and he's my long range character. Bring them on. Now, bring them on. Extra damage is definitely really nice if you see a lot of enemies. This is pretty huge. Extra on your crits, it makes a big difference. You can have some pretty high damage abilities. I really like this one. Lock and load only works if you have snapshot, really, because you can't take a shot. So even though it doesn't count as a move, it still counts as an action that costs an AP, so you can't shoot after it. Now, it does work, I think, within the zone, because if you've killed a few of them, now you have to reload. It'll allow you to reload before your turn is over. If you put it with double tap, it will not work. So this only works if you're using snapshot, and in the zone you've ran out of ammo, you can reload before your turn ends, basically. So it is good for that, but change the bring 'em on. I think the extra damage is nicer. In the zone, the best skill out there. It's very situational. If you're using one sniper, get this skill. There's no way around it. You get this, you can wipe out you can wipe out 5 enemies. As long as you still have ammo in your gun, you can keep shooting. It is amazing. This is really good. You can kill 5 enemies in one turn if you plan it properly. You have to have this for those situations where you're just like, crap, what do I do? This is your saving grace. Mayhem, extra 2 damage. Sure. Oh, extra 4 damage, actually, for a sniper rifle. Nice. It is good, but then you don't get those situational attacks that you need to use this with. Definitely use this if you feel you lack damage with your character, your snipers. But I still think the situational use of in the zone will change a crappy situation into a really good one. So this is almost invaluable compared to the other two. Double tap. Sure, every 2 turns you get 2 shots. Not bad. But your second shot, you can't move, can't reload, can't really do anything. So you'll sometimes use double tap and waste it. And I don't like that. I think that you can use double tap more often than in the zone. But in the zone is more useful for situations that you would not have used double tap at. So leave that to you. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I try to upload tips, tricks, guides, try to improve your gaming experience. We're trying to build a community together to actually share all those tips and tricks together and build that community together to maybe one day help those developers that aren't trying to gouge us with first day DLC and they want more money out of us, pay to win, all that stuff. We want gaming companies to actually care about the games and not just trying to make a quick buck and gouge us with their prices. Have a great night, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.